Welcome back, man. Welcome back. This is Fourth Quarter Sports, episode 4. It's been a minute. Finally made it back. Got a special guest, man, right here with me. Real City legend, Dorrian Roberts. Happy to have him, man.
What's up, everybody?
Man, D-Rob, what's good, bro? What's good? It's been a minute.
It's been a long time coming, man. We've been waiting on this, huh?
Yeah. I know I asked you about this probably, about 2-3 years ago, and kind of been behind on it and slowed down on even doing it, period. But, man, I appreciate you for coming, bro. Most definitely appreciate you for coming, man. And, man, first off, I just want to say, man, just growing up, and knowing you, period, not only as an athlete, but, doing your thing as a young father. I remember, seeing you go through having your first kid. Just so long as I've known you, man. You've always just been a good person overall, whether that's for fashion, the game of football, basketball, just an athlete, period, man. And I don't think you get a lot of love like you should in the city. I think, honestly, I can argue with a lot of people. I think you're one of the best athletes to come out of the city. And when I mean one of the best athletes to come out the city, I mean in just all sports, man. You one guy that, man, with your effort and you put your mind in something, dog, you just do it, man. And I've seen you do it, basketball, football, and every level, man. That's one thing I've always loved about you, dog, is, man, you a dog, man. You a dog. And
appreciate that.
Yeah. That was one reason why I wanted to bring you on. And just another reason is, man, just who you are in the city, man. You a name. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to say you a name just off of, your fashion, just by who you are, dog. And it's one thing I've always appreciated about you, because one thing of everything that I've done is, you've always been that one guy that, you ain't going to high five nobody or toe tag them, but you're going to tell them, hey, bro, yeah, you're doing good, but you need to do this. You know what I mean? Hey, you didn't, I done had a couple moments for you to pull me to the side on some things like that. And that's stuff that I've always appreciated. And, because I see how much respect my brother has carried for you and what you do, man. But, man, I'm going to stop talking about me so much, man. So how you been, man? How's life going before we start?
Man, life is lifing, man. You got your ups and your downs. You got your battles, but through it all, man, I'm grateful and I'm blessed. I'm blessed, man.
I got you. So
yeah.
I'm thinking, where'd you go to middle school, man?
I went to, I'm a Panther, so I went to Brooks Middle School.
Okay. Now, were you playing basketball there?
I did. I played for Coach Shepis, Josh Shepis. He was the coach there when I was there. I came up under a couple guys, man, a couple big names in the city. So you had Jordan Cyphers, Adonis Gant ended up transferring over, and he came over there. But I was underclass, so I was more of a water boy at first. Sixth grade, sixth grade. Coach Shepard kept me under his wing. But yeah, Brooks Middle School, man. The Panthers, man.
Hold on, you was for real water boy?
I was in that. Yeah, I was sixth grade.
I mean, see, that ain't normal.
He kept me under his wing. He knew my dad, so just with a lot of people, a lot of people do know my dad, but with his story and stuff, they just wanted to kind of keep me under their wing, kind of make sure I could stay focused and kept me well guided. So yeah.
Okay, man, that's dope. Because as long as I've known you, I've always known you to be the star in every team that you're in. So
well, this was sixth grade. Middle school, you can't play in sixth grade. So seventh and eighth, I was playing. But just being under his wing, and then just at sixth grade, you ain't even supposed to be even with the team. But I was around the team at sixth grade, so that's kind of been the story of my life, honestly. Man, that's
crazy to hear. But man, I'm gonna jump into the high school times, man, because. The reason I say high school is because every time I think of, if somebody was to say Dorrian Roberts, the number thing I think of is the number 4 that played for Heights.
Yeah.
Or the Hooper that played for Heights.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Because I remember my brother playing against you and always saying, man, I got to go against D-Rob at Heights. And I'm like, and I used to be like, Rob, like,
who is that?
Man.
Who is
he
that?
Said, Rob gonna bring it, bro. He said, Rob gonna bring it every time. He said, he ain't gonna lay off me. He said, he gonna bring it. Whether that was y'all at Independence, whether that was y'all, on the football field at Northwestern Heights or whatever it was, it was just that, just, and that respect was always there. So I knew at that time already, I'm like, whatever he told me, homie bringing it. Homie bringing it. But, man, let's talk about that time at Heights, man. You also had a good duo with my cousin Dwayne. I thought y'all was one of the best duos to do it, man. Yeah.
One of them. It's a lot of duos come out of the city, man.
Well, during my time, me seeing it, man, when I seen Dwayne and D-Rod, man, and y'all was swagging too back then. You know what I mean? Y'all even had the 5 pair of socks on and all that. Yeah. I remember all the time.
Man, high school, man. That was so long ago. But I don't know, man. It was, I'm just, like I said, I'm grateful. I'm blessed that I was, even given the skill set or the talent to, kind of, play sports because everybody's not able to. So, just looking back on it, man, I think I was real raw. Under the radar, I could say that, from middle school, just coming up. I started playing football 2nd grade. Told my mom, reached out to her, but going to high school, man, I don't know. It was a lot of great battles, but like I said, man, people just knowing my dad. My dad went to Heights. I almost was an East Ace, so I had to get a transfer over for Heights. But I was almost an East Ace, a Blue Ace. So
transfer wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So I was a South City guy, man. That's where my mom lives. That's where my mom stays. So I was either South High or East.
If that transfer
or East High.
That would have been crazy over there.
Before I even got to Heights, I was a Little League, played for the Wichita Tigers. So everybody was talking about Northwest. So that's what the push was.
Can you blame them? You know what I mean?
I can't blame them. I can't knock them. Coach Mo and Coach Poe and, it was a lot of guys from, from the Wichita Tigers that went to Northwest, but I wanted to be a Falcon, man. I wanted to follow in my dad's footsteps. My mom went there. Of course, my dad went there. My dad played for he played under Rick Wheeler, Coach Crosley, Coach Brian Chadwick, now the women's head coach at Derby.
So
that was his mentor. So it was, it was just, me wanting to follow my pop's footsteps, and I don't know. I love the Falcon. I love the black and red, man. I wanted to get out the purple after that.
It was clean. I ain't gonna lie. So, man, it sounded like you had a good village, man, coming up. When you come up.
Man,
good support system, good family.
My mom, my grandparents.
And I know your siblings as well. I know they're, I can tell y'all relationship is real close and real good with your siblings.
Man,
I can definitely tell y'all.
We got personalities. We might not always see eye to eye, but we definitely will look out for each other, hold each other accountable. And just, one of the reasons, I'm not trying to change subject, but one of the reasons why I did go to Heights, because I had to make this, it's very important. My grandma and my grandpa, they wanted to make sure that I was under a household where they could, make sure things were rolling and making sure I was doing what I was supposed to do. But I was blessed, looking back, man, I was blessed with so many people in my life that kind of just try to make sure I stayed on the right path. I might have strayed away at times.
We all did.
I got a hard head, stubborn. You wanted to do it my way, but I could say, man, like, it's definitely it takes a village, but I definitely had a village definitely pushing me to do better things, seeing my potential that, most likely I didn't see at all the time. So,
but the crazy thing is, man, you was a star in both sports, though. You know what I mean? Now guys played both sports. Don't get me wrong. But guys didn't really play both sports.
You're right. You know
what I mean?
It's a lost start.
I remember the times of seeing you hooping. I was like, this dude ain't no football player, y'all. This dude a hooper. I was like, he's a hooper for sure. So, man, that's and the guy, for you being as humble as you've been, and some of the things that you've really done, because I ain't gonna lie, they couldn't give me some of those accomplishments that you got under my belt, because they just know how I'm at. You know what I mean? I'm gonna walk a different way. I'm gonna talk a different way. I ain't gonna lie to you now. But man, just to jump a little bit more forward is, the JUCO life. This is dope that I've been dying to talk to you about. Man, we all know JUCO life is really no joke. You know what I mean? I had my experience 1.5 years up at Coffeyville and, experiencing what it really take. And I wasn't even in love with football like that. You know what I mean? I was just doing it because, number one, I needed somewhere to go after high school.
Most definitely.
It was somewhere. So, when I went through that process and seeing, guys really grinding for it and really gritting and really doing what it take and sacrificing so much, and seeing how you did it, but you an All-American at it, man.
I mean, it was a surprise to me, man, when I got that call. But it was an uphill battle for me too, man. JUCO definitely tested who I was, just as a person, as a player. Just I really had to dig deep and to figure out if this is really what I wanted to do. Just coming from Heights, transferring over, I didn't expect to even go to JUCO. Not saying that JUCO is bad, because it's definitely, I mean, it made me who I am. Yeah. Man. I'm a JUCO product, but coming out of high school, I didn't handle things, classroom wise.
You didn't take care of business.
And that's one thing, I didn't have anybody really up under me making sure that this was a important piece of it. Okay. As much as they talk about it, I didn't have nobody sitting there with me.
Yeah, really going it over.
Yeah, and again, that's on me at the end of the day. But Hutch Community College, man. That's when
I like Hutch.
Man,
they spanked
Blue
us.
Dragons, man.
Home,
we got spanked too, man. But man, it was crazy. I had a real, I want to say, a real great experience there, man. It just really showed me how to kind of live on my own, kind of handle myself. And I mean, through it all, playing football, I mean, shit, that was the biggest piece of reason why I was there. So, I mean, I was going to try to give it my all, man. I had bigger dreams, bigger goals, to accomplish, to reach. So I kind of, without JUCO, I don't think I would be the athlete I am today, man. I could literally say that, man. I could literally say that.
And I don't think you're speaking up on it enough. If people only understood what you really go through in JUCO life,
it's different.
From being in that dorm room to sometimes you even questioning your life.
What
you're doing there, and I remember being in there like, man, I got to make a plan B. Like something got to give.
I should have been on the plan B,
man. No, dog. Yeah, I was dog. I remember just really been in there stressing about it, but then again, man, seeing what you did with it, and you became an All-American at it. And the reason why I keep saying that, bro, is because we see a huge percent of our best athletes go JUCO right out of high school. Yeah. It's just, it's something that was before us, and it's something that's just going to keep going, except for today. But, for you to go that route, bro, and take the All-American route, and there's been so many guys that have went through that JUCO alone. You know what I mean? Some great guys that have went through there. And your name is up there, as All-American. And, that's something that's never going to be taken down.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean? It's crazy.
And I think it's real dope just to see the kids these days look at that. Because you're a big influence in the city, whether that's you at the barbershop, whether that's you flag football, or just whatever it is that you're doing, fashion. I think that's something the kids need to see as a guy like you. And, and with you already coaching, man, you really got a huge impact on the city, and that's why I always said it's like having the most underrated guy. And, you're definitely on my list of being those guys that's underrated and, and it's because you carry yourself so well. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And I most definitely try to, man. The one thing I can say, just because I've been in and out of the city, working, trying to figure out, stuff that I want to do. I have stuff in mind and, stuff that I got planned that I want to do just to bring me a little bit closer to the community, give me a bigger impact because I definitely try to help out when I can. I definitely try to support anybody that's helping the community, but just, being where I was at mentally at sometimes, man, just playing ball, man, you kind of put your eggs all in one basket and you kind of have a dream and a goal to get somewhere, and stuff doesn't always work out. Man, that's when you speak on community, man, I want to be able to be bigger into the community, So as much as the things that I do right now, I just see as more as it's little things. I could be more impactful. That's one thing I do want to bring because I mean, it's kids just like me growing up, same situation, same scenario, and I need to be a voice for them, man.
Yeah,
definitely. At times I didn't have a voice, so I didn't know what the hell I was doing, man. Like I said, going from a JUCO, man, playing sports. My mom was a single mother, so she didn't know too much about sports, but she knew that I wanted to play. I spoke up. I was outspoken. I let her know, and God willing, he blessed me to play at a Division I level. So Definitely, I want to definitely have some stuff in plan and, you know, stuff that I'm working on behind the scenes. You know, I don't speak too much about what I'm doing, man.
Yeah.
Just because I like to get stuff done and kind of like to, you know, show what work has been done, you know, behind the scenes and let it come to light on its own. But I'm working on some things, talking to some people. But definitely, man, the community definitely needs guys like me to step forward.
Yes,
other guys that play. I'm not just sports players, man, just guys that have experience in certain areas that, you know, kids are interested in, regardless if it's music, sports, art, business, all sorts of things. So,
man, that's absolutely correct, man. Because I feel like our city has the people that, like, I honestly, you know, in this, I'll take it back to, you know, my brother used to work at the juvenile detention facility.
Yeah.
And I used to listen to him every day talk about the kids that come in and out of there.
Yeah.
And, you know, just like you said, man, some of these kids just don't have nobody.
They don't have anybody.
Mom can only do so much.
Yeah,
She already working
definitely.
all day.
Most
You know what I
definitely.
mean? So, but it takes guys like you that's done it that they want to hear from.
Yeah,
You
and
know
at
what I mean?
times it takes a little bit more. It takes a little bit more just, I would say big brother in a guy, man, keeping on them. I don't see a lot, you know. I think when people make mistakes, we kind of basically write them off, man.
Yeah.
And shit, excuse my language, but
Oh, you good, man?
if you know, if when I think about it, man, so I apologize, but when I think about it, man, just being in my situation, I didn't have anybody just really give up on me at a point, you know what I'm saying? Like, and not necessarily, you know, saying that they just stayed on my ass, but at the same time, I had people basically, I didn't want to fail them, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't want to be looked at in the light as, you know, a waste of talent, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, fortunately I didn't get to the league, to the NFL like I wanted to, but I got to a position and a spot and a platform that a lot of kids or a lot of people wish they would have got to. So I'm forever grateful for that. But like you said, man, it's so many kids and it's so many things going on in the world we live in now, man. Mentally,
you got
I don't even know how they deal with it, man, because it's everything seems like it's quick. Everybody has this. Everybody everybody's living right. Everybody's doing this. So it's a lot of comparison, man. So.
See, our social media, we didn't have it. It was you know,
the Facebook. What was it? MySpace, and then Facebook started coming up.
We was like when Facebook kind of first. But ours wasn't as. It wasn't so demanding. These days, they demanding you to be rich tomorrow.
It's crazy.
You got to have the Maybach, and you got to be able to buy it tomorrow. You got to be able to buy it cash.
Everybody.
Because if you can't buy it cash, you're not nothing. I mean. No, but the one thing I can't say it because I fell for it. I used to fall for it. I used to think that was the thing to post the flashy stuff.
Yeah,
I was guilty of it.
I posted shoes and I got new gear this week.
And one thing that came more important for me is the impact I have on the community and the kids and things like that. Like, man, I love to see kids. For example, you know, I get my nephew. I love to see kids talk about, "Hey, man, I got your hoodie."
Yeah,
like that gets me more excited to hear about young kids having my hoodie more than
that's dope.
You know, the cousin or the uncle. Like I just be so excited, man. So yeah, man. But I'm gonna jump back right into it. So K-State, you leave Heights, you go to K-State. That transition right there is huge. Well, not leaving Heights. You leave JUCO and go to K-State.
This is it.
You hit All-American.
And this is the craziest thing.
Now, what made you – I just have to ask this. I always ask guys this that go to K-State.
Go ahead.
I ask and y'all played together. I'm going to just ask you right now.
This is going to be a whole different story because I don't think too many people know my situation, man.
Why'd you pick K-State?
So at Hutch, for all the kids out there, man.
This is the part we've been waiting on.
If you're playing sports, if you have goals and you have ambitions – you need to focus and push and work and do whatever you can at that time being. For the simple fact, you'll end up in a situation of mine. So at Hutch, I played football my freshman year. Played football. Coach Ecke ends up coming to coach basketball at Hutch.
Okay.
So I end up joining the basketball team. The right after our season was over. So I joined the basketball team probably in the middle of the season. Started hooping. Wasn't focused though. I put too much on my plate. I felt like mentally, physically, I wasn't focused. Let my grades slip. Okay. In JUCO, you always want to graduate at December. You don't want to graduate in Mill. You want to graduate in the wintertime after the season over, so you can basically get to spring ball and all that stuff.
Okay.
So as an All-American, all conference, whatever you want to say accolades that I was giving, I wasn't graduating at the time I was supposed to. So, and this is the thing. This is another thing, and I have nothing against Hutch Blue Dragons at all, because I had some great coaches there, but I had to do a lot of recruiting on my own when I couldn't graduate at the time I was supposed to. But the offers that I had, I couldn't take them because they wanted a guy. They wanted a guy now for spring ball. Okay. So it came down to my DB coach, Coach O. Still talk to him to this day. Probably the one that really humbled me, really gave me a reality check. Just as a player in person, he really pushed me to be.
Really got you.
Really pushing me to be who he knew I could be. Gotcha. Saw the potential in me, man. I didn't see it. But so it was out of Emporia State. And then I knew my aunt knew somebody in K-State. They weren't going to give me a scholarship, but they were going to accept me for a walk-on. I was going to end up walking on at Kansas University. So I was going to go to KU because my boy Phillips Ahime was there already. Okay. Through my film to him, he gave it to somebody in the athletic department. But I ended up having to walk on to K-State. As an All-American, as an all-conference player, I walked on to K-State. So that automatically humbled me even more. Just how I had to enter, but it also gave me a lot of, I had to prove something, man, because
I heard something about
they didn't know too much about me, man. I'll be real, like I wasn't on Kansas State's radar. I was looking at Boise State or North Texas come out of
so you was trying to get out of home.
Yeah, I was really trying to get. I didn't want to go to K-State.
Okay.
When I first got to Hutch, Mizzou was. That's where I thought I was gonna be going. Mizzou.
Yeah, I've done my research. I know the schools. I was just trying to see,
But yeah, man, I ended up having to walk on to K-State. I wanted to play at that level. I knew I could play at that level. I turned down Emporia State. They gave me a scholarship, but I turned it down. Like I felt like where I was meant to be was at the Big 12 or Division I level. So I turned it down. Went to Kansas State. Got there. Coach Snyder didn't know me. None of my coaches knew my resume or anything like that. It was just basically they saw the film, like, we'll take another body. That's how I felt it was. Then we got there and I showcased what I can do, and kind of went from there.
Man, so I'm gonna jump right into it. So right when you said you walked into K-State, so I'm taking this from a couple players that was on that team.
Yeah.
I heard you walked in there with a chip on your shoulder. They said D-Rob came in there, and when I mean chip on your shoulder, I mean in a good way.
No.
You was focused. They said you took the best receivers that was on the practice that day and just went at all of them.
We had Tyler Lockett, we had Chris Harper, we had Broderick. A lot of people don't know about Broderick Smith, but he was at Garden City. He played at Garden City, was a wide receiver there as well. We had Tremaine Thompson out of Oklahoma. Man, we had some great competition. Even guys like Curry Sexton, would surprise you at times. But the thing about it, I didn't play corner until I got to Hutch. So I was a safety. I played safety, free safety. So I was always used to kind of being in there freelancing around the field. Got to Hutch, learn some technique. It wasn't too much demanding, and it wasn't, I wouldn't say hard, but it was a challenge at times because, wide receivers going to know where the ball is going at first. But, no, I came in there with a chip on my shoulder for the simple fact I had to walk on. They made me walk on. My resume, I felt like it spoke for itself, and this is where I had to humble myself, man. I felt like I was that guy that was at Heights, that came through the JUCO and got a spot over out-of-staters, you know, even though it was like a 12 limit. But they kept me. They wanted me because they didn't have to they didn't have to bring an out-of-stater for a corner. They could go use it somewhere else where in reality, a lot of times they're using out-of-state D-backs to come in to play at a JUCO. They don't usually use the Kansas guys there, so that just tells you a lot there. But, yeah, I came in there, man. Coach Snyder, we bumped his, man. I used to have to run the stadium.
What player haven't bumped his?
Man, I used to compete, man. Like I'm going all in. And he was a more of an offensive guy. He ain't want you hurt. Even looking like you were about to hurt one of his players. I remember this time we played. It was we had 1-on-1, or no, it wasn't even 1-on-1. We was doing basically running through plays, and I'm on Chris Harper. Chris got me in trouble, but I break on the ball, and I think I stepped on his foot or his ankle or something. And Chris, you know, he tried, he kind of giving it, he trying to over exaggerate on it, but Coach Snyder he basically told me, hey son, he said, hey, you're gonna have to calm down. And then Brother Smith came through. I came through on him, flying through. I didn't know how to play any other way, man. I always I'm going all in, man, putting my body on the line, but come through on I think he was still hurt a little bit, but he was still playing. But damn, tell my coach, like, yeah, he gotta hit the stairs. My Coach Hayes looking at me like, man, I don't know what's going on, but you heard him, man, you gotta go. So I feel like that's one thing that I don't think nobody can ever take away from me, is
you always brought it.
I feel like my effort was never questionable, regardless. I never looked at myself to, you know, I wasn't the cool guy on the court. Like, I didn't care. You could cross me. I could have 2 points. I could air ball. But I always kind of, you know, got to the next play and kind of reminded myself, like, hey, it's only gonna take one thing, and it could change the whole momentum of the game, the entirety. So when I was out on the quarter of the field, or you know, quarter of the field, or even running track, but I felt like I always competed no matter what. I wasn't gonna turn down anybody, you know, trying to come at me. I feel like that's always been my mentality in anything. We could play checkers, tic-tac-toe, Madden, it doesn't matter, man.
So with you being the player that you are, man, and how you came up, what would you say is the best way that you could help the youth? Because you see the game is totally different on how these guys are being brought up, how they're being guided through this. The JUCO system has definitely changed.
No, it's definitely changed.
It's a complete change.
It's basically Division I football.
Yeah, I mean, our Kansas guys really gotta, you know, be at that level.
Yeah.
But then again, you know, part of me is like, I like it.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like we need to step our football game up here. Period. Anyway.
I think as a community,
but I'm gonna say this:
it's gonna take a lot, man. But,
it most definitely will. But I think if we start and I can say this because I'm one of those guys. I'm not one of those guys that did it enough to really coach. I always believe that the guys who did it need to be in the front of the line.
Yeah.
The guys that actually can teach this kid the fundamentals of the game need to be right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We got enough hype man. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
We got enough hype man. And, you know, you are one of the guys that I think would be dope to see out there doing more with the community.
Yeah.
You know, like I was talking to Mac about it, my brother. I was talking, you know, y'all are the guys that need to be out
and
there.
I think it's
Y'all are those guys, man.
I think it's coming. I think it's definitely coming.
Because y'all are the guys that those kids are going to understand with.
Yeah.
They're going to bond with y'all better, man. And it's just going to be better overall for the city.
Yeah.
But then also, man, what's one player you can say you compare your game to?
In the city or just?
I would just say I'm going to just say as a D-back, period, who would you say you can compare your game to? or who would you say is more
man,
of a game that
it's
you
crazy.
look after yourself on?
It's crazy. When I was growing up, man, I didn't really get a chance to really watch a lot of city league talent. Like I didn't get to go to games all the time. Like the times I did go to the game, most of the time we was over there in our little league jerseys playing football, on the side or something at the games.
Not even paying attention.
Not really paying attention, but man, I grew up. Man, I was a big time Sean Taylor fan.
Okay.
So I feel like that's where my aggression. I was a Miami Hurricanes fan growing up, man. I love Sean Taylor, Devin Hester, Willis McGahee.
Okay.
I was big into like watching him, how he he used to but he just the level of how he competed and how physical he was, and putting his body on the line regardless. That's one of the people that I looked up to. I also like Charles Woodson.
Man, one guy you really remind me of, just from watching you, and is back in his college days, Tyrone Matthew.
Man, my dad used to say that all the time.
You got a ball hawk mentality.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what it is, bro, but like I've seen plays where you a star somewhere over there, and it's like, how the hell Dorrian is over here making it? Like, bro, you really have a ball hawk mentality.
It's a knack for
and
the
I've
ball.
seen that in, whether that was football with the pads, the flag football, bro, you really got a ball hawk mentality. Yeah. And you really like one of those guys that we can put him over here by himself.
Yeah.
We fine with that.
Yeah.
I'll take that chance if I got D-Rob over there. I'm going to take that chance. That's fine.
I'm not saying it's going to always, but man, it's crazy. My dad used to say that, man. My dad used to call in when he used to call. He'd be like, man, they ain't using you right, man.
Bro, I'm telling you.
They ain't at K-State, they ain't using you
no,
right, man.
You're not a guy
playmaker.
That you can just sit. Yeah,
they had me behind Lockie for kick returns and punt returns.
Yeah,
but
I
it was
would
just
put you
like,
on my damn kick return.
It was like,
I'm not putting you on my kick return or punt return. No, I'm not going to lie to you. Ain't no way. I don't know what they was thinking up there. Ain't no way I'm putting you on either one of them.
Man.
Nah. I'm putting you somewhere where you can look at the ball and know what's going on.
But, they just, I feel like, just because I used to kick return and punt return at Heights, so.
That worked out good.
I just felt like,
How many of those you run back?
My junior, they stopped kicking it to me my senior year. That's where Dwayne got it. That's where he got it.
That makes sense.
So, but,
that's where the duo kicked in.
Yeah, that's where the duo. That's where it came in. But my dad used to always say that, man. K-State kind of didn't use me the way they should have, man. And also, I dealt with a torn ACL the year I was supposed to start.
I was just about to bring that up too, man. I think a lot of opportunities slowed you down just due to injury. You know who you remind me of on that part?
No.
Brandon Roy. You remind me of the football Brandon Roy.
Man, I had one.
That's exactly what it reminds me of.
I had one injury, y'all. Torn ACL spring game coming into my
it's
year.
one of the biggest injuries.
And they risked. I know it was bad. It wasn't too bad. I could have came back. My coach wouldn't let me.
But how I heard you was giving people problems before that injury, man. Just think if you would have just coached that route.
Yeah. It's a lot of looking back on. It's a lot of things.
And I ain't talking about stories from reporters. I heard the players' stories. I'm talking about the players that's telling.
That's the realest
story.
story.
I reached out to a bunch of your teammates before this interview.
That's the realest story.
I said, hey, give me some tips on D-Rod.
That's the realest story.
Give me, and most of the thing people will tell you is, man, he's humble.
Yeah.
For how great he is and what he can do, that dude is humble. He chill. He laid back. You know what I mean? He don't need to be in front of the camera.
I've never been a guy. I don't know. I've always shied away from like doing stuff like this, man. I don't, and talking to friends and stuff. Yeah, I know it took me a while
to get this.
Yeah,
done, so.
like it just. I don't know. I definitely. I'm grateful. I'm blessed. I'm thankful that you. But I do need to give myself more grace. With that. Because for me, being a competitor, man, I'm like, if I didn't get to that level where I needed to be, where I felt like I should have been. I don't feel like I have the room to voice my opinion on things at times. This is what I used to think, and I had to give myself grace for that, for the simple fact of, like I said, I played. I started in the Big 12. I won I won bowl games.
You won on the big level.
We won. Yeah, we definitely. And I don't know, man. I take it how I can. I mean, if you talk shit to me, definitely, you might get a different part of me, but man, a lot of my shit talking, if people do take me serious, it's just a part of the game, and it's kind of like creating the atmosphere for You know,
for the bull.
for the shit, you know, just making something up in your mind. You know how you do it when you little, when you playing basketball, and you out there by yourself. You ain't got nobody out there, man. You know, you out there trying to figure out how to make it challenging, make it fun.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
So
man.
it's the same thing, man.
Talking shit used to, when I played basketball, I had to be a part of my game because I wasn't the best athletic out there. So it became a part of my game to where I used to get in people's head and I was winning.
Yeah, that's how you. That's how you get it. I didn't learn that until I got to JUCO. That's where they. That's where they had it. They showed me.
Yeah, but then another thing, man, is you came home. You won with the force.
Yeah,
that was dope to see. You know what I mean? You and Elbert Mack came home and did that. I thought that was real dope to see for the city. I really felt like y'all did that for Wichita because I feel like that's something that y'all didn't have to do. Y'all already had your name written in stone on who you are and your impact on the game. I feel like that was so dope to see, and I felt like it impacted other guys to do more of that in that league, in that space. So I thought that was real dope when y'all did that. Yeah,
man. I definitely another thing that was another thing I kind of looked down on, but I ended up giving it a go. I probably experienced the most fun I ever had playing that game, man. It to me it was a combination of flag football and, you know, real football. Nook coming over, Elbert Mack coming over, Shaquille Reshock playing, Clearance playing.
Yeah, that was dope.
It was just good to be around some Wichita guys that I grew up with and competed with. But it definitely was good to bring one to the city. I felt like I felt like people came and people caught interest because of they seeing who was playing. But it was definitely, like I said, man, I expected way more, but I end up, you know, just pulling my pride to the side, like, man, give it a chance, give it a go, and would never look down upon anybody trying to chase their dreams. But definitely was for me, because at K-State I had that 1 year after I tore my ACL, so I felt like I was starting to get back to my my rhythm, and then when I got to the fours, I felt like I was, you know, I had more weight on me. I was sitting heavier. I was, you know, I felt more confident, felt good. I could, you know, run through somebody. I could make hits, tackles, make plays, period. But it was refreshing to just really be around guys that you grew up with in Little League, and, you know, me and Shaquille played, and we played at K-State together, but playing with him with the Force, we kind of had the same type of, you know, we had kind of had the same experience going from after the draft and stuff didn't go our way as we expected, and, you know, we kind of had it, you know, what we gonna do? We gonna get more film, we gonna play, and I mean, one thing led to another. Coach Paco Martinez, he was trying to get me to play the year before that, and I was like, man, I'm gonna just wait and see, man. I got my agent trying to see about some stuff, and I was like, forget it. I got impatient, fired my agent. I ended up getting another agent. I was just trying to get some film, and, you know, I played with the Force, and I didn't play it to the way a lot of indoor guys would play. I played it more trying to showcase my talent for the outdoor football. Just so they can know I can, you know, everything that's translated from this film is going to translate to the, you know, to the actual football game, to if it was a CFL, Canada Football League, or if I even got another shot at the NFL. But definitely, man, I loved it, man.
Yeah, that was
short
dope.
field,
that was
faster
dope.
Game.
That was dope to see y'all do that, man. And then to see y'all win, that was even better. Yeah. I was like, oh, man.
It was crazy. It was crazy.
I feel like that was the only time the arena in Wichita was really being talked about.
No,
I mean, it's been talked about every time.
It was, and it's crazy, man, how
the
arena
team. I'm sorry if anybody gonna take that, but I'm just saying at that time, man, it was another.
It was definitely different, man. You had a lot of guys, man. Even Adams from Arkansas was playing on another team. You know, you had talent across the board.
Yeah, I remember taking my Brady Bunch to them games.
Yeah, we had some actual professionals, man. People that played at that level and knew what it take. You know, taking care of your body and, you know, making sure you're not disrespecting the game in any way. So definitely, I mean.
And to jump to your flag football, man.
Oh, flag football, man.
You're definitely, I don't know if they know, man, but you're definitely one of the best ones doing it out of Wichita. definitely when we set up a Hall of Fame, man, we definitely got to get you in there, man. I think you've helped build the WFFA strong. Of course, what Miggs has done tremendous with Rambo and Tommy and Mike and those guys, man. But you know, having the players out there is real dope.
Yeah.
And, you know, you was really one of the huge reasons why I even wanted to step into it. You know, I remember talking to you a couple times before I even decided to do it, and just seeing what you do now, still traveling, is dope. It's dope. You know what I mean?
We definitely try. It's harder now. It's harder now with, you know, families and you know, you got other responsibilities that you have to take care of. But we try, man. I mean,
you get the chance, it's dope to see, man.
Yeah, as much as as much as I try to definitely stay active. I try to still compete. I still try to, you know, traveling is definitely man, it's been an eye opener because the flag world is so much bigger than what people think, man. Like when my you know, my boys want to get into it, man, that's gonna be the first thing we do because hey, I'm gonna be able to go and play too. So Daddy gonna be able to watch y'all, and y'all gonna be able to watch me.
Nobody knows this, so they gonna find out when they see it. But you know, I tried to get us our youth league going.
Yeah,
and I got a nice little email from the city of Wichita.
Yeah.
And, you know, with them doing their contract with the NFL, I'm unable to have a youth league. And if I do a youth league, I can't use the city fields. So I'm in so that's what I'm dealing with right now. Got a couple fields that's interested to let me start a youth league up there. But, youth league is definitely was my number one goal when I first got this position team.
I think that's big. I think we just got to put our heads together, man, and come with something for the youth because I feel like the city league, little league community it's not what it used to be. It's not what it used to be, and it's kind of sad to see it go away because it's a lot of people that put, you know, they blood, sweat, and tears into pushing youth football, youth sports. And to see it going down like this and to see, you know, teams transitioning to be called other names and I'm not knocking anybody because I respect any man, woman, any peer out there trying to push and, you know, work with the youth and work with the community and doing things outside of what, you know, they don't really necessarily have to, but I think our focus needs to be on those kids, man. We need to get it back to, and that's what I said. I want to that's where I have to put my best foot forward and try to put myself in a position to show a little impact or to be able to show people, hey, we can do this. But it takes a village, like you said. It takes a village,
man. My whole goal was, you know, I enjoyed the last year and a half or two, you know, doing the men's league, and I'm going to continue to do the men's league, but my real goal is the youth, is to grab the youth. It's because, you know, like, for example, when we go out and see these kids, they have nothing to do, but then, you know, at the same time, we can't blame them because they're just young at the same time. So it's like,
you got to push them.
Yeah, we got to push them. You know what I mean? We can't blame nobody but ourselves. You know, that's what my dad told me. He said, hey, son, I don't want to hear you complain about nobody else and what they doing if you ain't going to try to do it first. Yeah. You said, I don't want to hear nothing.
Exactly.
So, you know, when you got something like that, man, it's like, all right, cool. I gotta do it first before I ask somebody else to do it. So, yeah. And then, you know, just first off, man, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for coming. Yeah. Man, it means a lot to have you here, bro. Again, you are one guy I really look up to, have always looked up to, man. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure a lot of guys in the city look up to, man. I've always just been able to speak highly of you. Actually, I don't even want to forget this, man. I want to bring this up. So a couple years back, you did a strong movement, man. And you did a very strong movement, a movement in the city during the time it was much needed. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Man,
you led a march. It was pretty strong. I was living in Houston at this time. I checked the paper and I seen this picture of Dorrian Roberts right up front, and I said, "Whoa, what's going on?" And then I remember calling back home and hearing about everything that you did. You know, during that moment, I think, you know, and I don't think you've ever probably tried to brag about it or nothing like that, but
it's definitely
I'm only
not
saying this
bragging,
because I did something similar with Adrian Rivera, and man, it takes a lot of a man to do some stuff like that, man.
Oh, yeah.
Because people don't understand of everything you're risking at that time. You know what I mean? You got a family you got to feed too. You know, some people might have looked at you wrong for, you know, a long period of time of doing what you do, but I think you've always been a man of standing up for what you believe in, man.
Most definitely.
And that's one thing that, again, I most definitely respect about you, man. And it's something that I don't think you should never change, man.
Yeah.
I think that's real dope that you've
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Definitely, I would say, man, just doing what I feel, man. And I need to do more of that. You know, as I grow older, I can see I procrastinate on some stuff that I'm, you know, working on and pushing forward to do to show more of who I am. You know, not necessarily, you know, Dorrian, a football player or just good in sports, but just pushing in, touching on different avenues that, you know, I always grew up as a child loving to do, you know, and just being more vulnerable. So definitely that march was something, but it's I think we got a lot of change, man. It's still a lot that needs to be done. I don't think marching is the only necessary thing. Do I feel like it's something that seeing people come together and unite to do it, it's definitely great, but I think that's something that we can continue to push in our community doing, just sticking with each other. But yeah, man, definitely, you know, wasn't looking to get noticed for that, but, you know, it happens. But I do appreciate you. Just like I said, doing what I felt like was right. Just wanted to be a part of community at the time. And I think we need to kind of continue to keep our heads together and kind of work to resolve a lot of more issues that we do have in this world.
Most definitely.
But it starts, you know, it just starts one community after another. So, yeah.
Well, man, I'm going to wrap it up for today, man. I appreciate you for coming again.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you
having me. Hope to see you
man.
out here real soon with this flag football once everything is decided. It's a tough position being the flag football commissioner in Wichita, I'll tell you that much, but I love it. I don't regret none of it. So, yeah, man, I just appreciate you for coming, man.
Man, I appreciate you.
Fourth Quarter Sports, Episode 4, Dorrian Roberts.